behind this. I don't know if you guys know what that is. I have blue eyes. I don't know if you can tell. But that does not go very well with all the snow, guys. Like, I literally was outside walking. I was just trying to get some fresh air, going up and down the street. And with all this snow, man, it literally like, I came back inside. I couldn't see out of, it was this eye. I like had half of my vision in one eye. It's kind of scary. So you guys be safe out there. I know it is that time of year where, things are rocking and rolling and, stuff's kind of going on. So again, you guys just be incredibly safe. Don't do anything stupid. Don't go driving around and stuff you don't need to be going driving around in and stuff like that, So that being said, today what I wanted to talk to you guys about is something that a lot of you guys are probably all feeling. And I wanted to address this because this is definitely something that it's a common theme I'm seeing with a lot of you guys. Like, it's not one single person. It's a theme that, again, not even y'all. This is something you see every single fucking January. For you guys who have been here for a year, have been in the game with us for a year, you already know this. You probably felt this way last year. Like, this is the way people feel during this time of year. It's the end of January, okay? The end of January is the biggest, the hardest, one of the hardest times for people to, like, consistently stick to their New Year's goals because, guys, let me explain something to you right now. Like, everyone came into January with some kind of New Year's resolution, even if you don't put a lot of value into it, right? Every one of you guys did. Every single fucking one of you guys did, right? And so we need to make sure you guys understand that that's not going to fucking get hit in 3 to 4 weeks. It's just not. It's not. Burning 10 to 15 pounds or getting your summer body or gaining 5 pounds of muscle, that's not going to happen in a month, okay? We have to understand very, very well that January is a great time for a lot of people to gain momentum. That's all January is, right? And December and a lot of the end of November, a lot of people really were like struggling. They're just trying to make it to that point because they knew in January that's when their momentum would build back up. A lot of you guys, including my people, may have done the same thing. Maybe you kind of like took your foot off the gas a little bit, right? Took out your foot off the gas. You're like, if I could just make it to January and I'll get that momentum back and I'll get my motivation back and I'll be on that grind and we'll do it. And you probably felt that way for the beginning of January. And now we're here and you're not seeing results as fast as you want to see them and you're getting disappointed because you feel like you're working your ass off and you're not seeing the output, right? Guys, that is a part of this process. I cannot explain that enough. Like, this is why I'm so big about you cannot be all or nothing in this fitness game. You can't. Because what's going to happen is you're going to bounce back at some point. You can't sustain all or nothing for a lifetime, and you need fitness for a lifetime. That's a problem. A lot of people don't make that realization until they hit a plateau, right? Or they get very pissed off and they end up going backwards. This is the reason, guys, you see a lot of people gain a lot of weight back after losing some weight. This is why that happens. It's exactly why that happens. It doesn't always happen in January. It can happen a lot of different times. It just happens the most to the most amount of people per year at the end of January. Okay, so this is something I know was coming. I knew there's going to be, I know for a fact every year around this time of year, there's going to be people, including people that are even under my consultation, that are going to struggle with this. Because one, it's a really fucking hard thing to do. Guys, I've said this so many times. Like, most of the, not even the US, this is a world problem. Most of the population's obese. It's getting to be a severe problem, right? This is a hard thing to do. And so we can't sit here and get mad at ourselves over and over and over again, or like get pissed off because you aren't seeing progress as fast as you want to see it, right? Like, that's one that you got to understand that is exactly why people bounce back, is because they tend doing this the wrong way and going too fast with it, and then they end up can't sustain it. They bounce back. You ought to have known that already, right? You hear about those horror stories all the time on the internet. You guys know this. This is what half of you guys come to me trying to avoid this and then go right back into it, right? And so what we got to understand here is that a lot of what's going on is just your brain throwing up red flags for stuff that you aren't used to because you think it's a problem. It's not a problem. If you're seeing progress, it's never a fucking problem. Progress is never, it doesn't matter how slow it is. Progress is never a fucking problem. Failure is never a fucking problem. It's all data. It helps us understand what we need to change and what we need to do differently. But as guys, if you take this so personally and you let it like try and dictate who you are as a person because you aren't seeing fat loss as fast as some dude online who lives in a completely different part of the country than you do, who's probably taking TRT or testosterone, you aren't seeing the results as fast as them. Guys, you got to stop doing. You can't play that game. That game's not going to get you anywhere. Okay? We got to make sure we're trying to do, we got to be focused on us, not other people. Okay? Like, this is such a big thing. I cannot, you know, what's the best quote that and puts this in the best perspective for me is comparison is the thief of joy. And you're comparing yourself to other people and how fast they're doing instead of focusing on your life and you getting better. It's not a bad thing to want to see results faster, but it's a bad thing to try and compare yourself to like how fast someone else is getting your results because you don't have the same circumstances. You don't even have the same fucking body. Okay, so you got to understand that, right? So what we have to start asking ourselves is not how do I become the fastest at getting my goals? How do I get faster at achieving my goals? That's the number one thing you got to understand. It is so fucking important. It is so fucking important. Because if you don't get that fucking thing down, you're never going to fucking make it. Okay, you're going to be a fucking loser for the rest of your fucking life talking about the wrong fucking things to yourself. And the reason that's a problem is because the reason I call it, I know it sounds rude. Let me reset myself. I call that a loser mindset because you get in your own way. Nobody is saying that stuff to you but yourself. Right? So if we can't make sure that we're getting, like, stopping that toxic talk to ourselves, that's not, you're not going to get anywhere. You will get absolutely nowhere without that. Okay? We have to get rid of that part. We have to start, and the way we do that is with, and again, this is the part where I start coming into this and making sure that we get you guys all set up, is affirmations is a great way to start, and routine. This is where a lot of people are messing up, okay? Like, guys, not only that, let me address the most important part. You gotta make sure you're not listening to your emotions. Your emotions mean fuck all in this process. They mean absolutely jack fucking shit. They mean nothing. Why? Because guys, this is a fat loss journey. You're gonna be fucking hungry. If you ate every time you were fucking hungry, you're gonna stay fucking fat. Okay? That's it. Okay? So you cannot listen to your emotions during this process. You got to listen to logic, and you even need people to help. That's a big part of why we have my fitness community, my fat loss community with my people. Because we can help kind of get each other out of each other's heads. It's a huge fucking thing. It's a huge fucking thing. Sometimes you get in your own way. It's a huge fucking problem. And so we got to make sure we aren't doing these things. Because guess what else is happening in January? Okay, in January, you will get the least amount of sunlight. It's the most likely time of the year for people to be depressed. Okay, you cannot listen to emotions. That depressed feeling is the reason a lot of people stop chasing their goals. That depressed feeling is the reason a lot of people stop going to the gym. That depressed feeling is the reason a lot of people stop tracking their calories. They give up on themselves. Okay, so like, guys, of course, this time of year, of course, you are overwhelmed. There's a lot on your plate. Listen, you have all the goals that you want. Don't forget that you still gotta, like, take the responsibilities you still have. And a lot of you guys, I did a live stream on this earlier this month too, but I'll bring it back. A lot of you guys are trying to add without any subtracting, right? You're trying to add more onto your plate without taking stuff out, and that's not how this works. Okay, so what do we got to take out? This is the part, guys, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling stressed out, good, you're in the right area. This is where growth is found. You're in the perfect spot. Don't worry, stop stressing. You get comfortable being uncomfortable. This is exactly where you need to be, right? But what you don't need to do is to let those emotions you're feeling and that overwhelmed, stressed feelings you're feeling, or emotions, make you make bad decisions, right? Skipping the gym, not tracking your calories, saying, fuck it, I'm not going to do anything today but sit on my ass because I'm snowed in anyways. No. Like, we got to get used to this sensation. Get used to being here. It's a big part of this process because I promise you, if you can, you're going to figure out how to get over that next hurdle. But I promise you how you're not going to get over that next hurdle is not even trying to get over it. I guarantee you. It's a guaranteed way of making sure you don't get what needs to be done. Okay, so a big thing I would really stress upon you guys when it comes down to this part, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling anxious, if you feel like the world's on your back, the big thing, I'll give you a few different things. Number one, make sure you get comfortable in that position. If you're in that position, you feel overwhelmed, you feel anxious, you feel that stress, that means you are living your life, and that's a great thing. Okay, we got to get used to that feeling, because that avoiding that sensation makes you avoid life. This is what turns people into hermits, guys. Don't do that. You miss out on life when you do that. Don't do that. Even though it feels uncomfortable, get comfortable being uncomfortable. Put yourself out there, right? Now, another big thing, and this is something I preach to my people all the fucking time, guys. If you're not journaling, if you're not trying to like fit a schedule in, if you're not following any kind of schedule or routine, I guarantee you that's your problem. And I know that's at least 60 to 70% of you guys, because when I help people set this up, it's almost always the case they've never done this before. Guys, you did it in high school. We had classes, you had a period cases, you had a first period, second period, third period. You knew what you were doing, but you're not doing it anymore for yourself. You just stopped doing that. And again, they should have probably taught that to us a little bit more, and how important that was. But guys, there's a reason we were doing that in high school. It fucking works. It works so well that it'll work on even a bunch of dumb kids. Okay? I say a bunch of dumb kids, but you guys know what I mean. It doesn't take a rocket scientist for you to see exactly how this works. How we get routine and have it built up is by doing the same things over and over and over again. And a lot of you guys don't know what you're doing on a day-by-day basis. So that's where you're getting a lot of that overwhelmed feeling. You feel like you're trying to cram everything in one day, and your mindset, I know what the mindset is. I used to do this too, okay? The reason I am able to address a lot of these problems is because I went through all these problems myself, right? And like, I know what the mindset is behind this. The mindset is behind this is just simply like, oh, I'm just not going to have to like deal with that. Like, I'm just going to try and muscle it all in one day, and I'm just going to try and like do one task after the other, do one task after the other, do one task after the other. But guys, you only have, even if you had that much energy, you only have so much time in a day. Okay? So we have to learn time management. Time management is a skill that, like, I cannot stress to you is very, very important. But guys, it all intertwines. A lot of this is management of a lot of different stuff. And this is where I come in to play for a lot of my people, is I help them manage a lot of this stuff, right? I even will get on phone calls with my people. I do this all the time for my clients. It helps them out tremendously. But I'll get on a phone call with my people, and we will literally sit out. I'll have them send me over what their schedule is, their work schedule, how they typically do things, and I will sit down with them for a 15 to 20-minute phone call and help them block out like what they're doing, what time they're going to the gym, what time they're waking up, what time they're going to sleep, right? Like, all of this stuff, it's very important if you want to figure out how to fit all of this fucking stuff in. But a lot of us are skipping that step and then going, oh my God, why am I overwhelmed? That's why. You don't know what's going on. You don't have any clarity. The clarity is the most, guys, if you want to stop feeling overwhelmed, you need clarity. And a lot of you guys aren't sitting down to give yourself that clarity. You're just telling yourself, oh, I'll just remember it. No, you fucking won't. Okay, that's not how thoughts work. Thoughts are like, this is how thoughts work. A lot of people think thoughts are as simple as like writing notes down on a piece of paper. No. A thought is more like encrypting your thought into one drop of water, and then putting that drop of water into a swimming pool, and then trying to find that one drop of water later. It's not gonna happen. Okay, like, your thoughts swirl like crazy. Especially the biggest thing, the greatest example of this is people telling me they're really good at tracking their calories in their head. You are a liar beyond liars. Okay, or at the very least, you're lying to yourself. I hear that so freaking often, and I know it's not true, because there's too many numbers. There's literally something called the problem of big numbers, guys. Humans are notoriously bad with keeping up with numbers. Guys, like, think about how many phone numbers you got to keep up with, your passwords, you got to keep up with all these different ditches about like your addresses. You're not going to keep it up. You're not going to do it. Okay, so you guys got to make sure, like, when it comes down to this kind of stuff, don't overestimate it. Because here's the reality. A lot of you guys are stuck in the same place you've been stuck in for the past fucking year. And it's not that you're not trying. It's simply that you're making the same mistake over and over and over again and not trying anything differently. That's what's causing it. So it's as simple as make sure you guys stop doing that, right? How do we do that? We track data so that we can figure out, oh, this is what's the problem. Let me change this. right? Again, bringing it back to tracking the calories. A lot of you guys be like, again, not even tracking calories, but once you start tracking calories, you start realizing, oh man, I was under eating way more than I thought it was. Or man, I was overeating way more than I thought it was. I wasn't tracking these snacks even though I didn't know it was important. Or my protein's way lower than I thought it was. My water intake's way, I drink nothing but water, but my water intake's way lower than I thought it was. Okay, you guys see what I'm saying? All right, so we gotta make sure we're not making those same fucking mistakes like a little 16-year-old kid. Right? We're not 16 anymore. We're all adults with families, and we have like people we're responsible for, animals we're responsible for. Right? We're not some kid. Again, don't get me wrong. I like to play video games, but we're not some kid on summer vacation playing Fortnite at home. We're just not. Okay? So make sure you guys understand that. Unless you want to live that life into your 30s and 40s and 50s. If you want to do that, go do that. But at the end of the day, a lot of you guys want to be fit for your families. A lot of you guys want to be able to provide for your families. A lot of you guys want to feel capable. You want to not feel like a fat ass all the time. You want to be able to like breathe normally after a few steps. Right? So like if we really want that, let's figure out how we get there and stop making the same mistakes over and over and over again. Like stopping in January and then picking it back up in the summertime because you feel bad about it again now that everyone's taking their shirt off at the beach. Okay, like listen, guys, I've been doing this for literally. I've been a certified coach. It's right here. When did I get certified? I got certified back in 2015. It is 2026. I've been certified for 11 years. I've been helping people with this for 11 years. I've seen it all. Okay? Every year, this is one of the biggest things that gets people as far as like the end of January, beginning of February, some of the biggest drop-offs in the gym and fitness goals ever. Don't be that part of the statistic. Okay? Guys, that's all I've got for you guys. For all my people, if you got questions, if you're struggling right now, and of course, obviously too, anyone watching this right now is obviously welcome to, DM me if you're struggling with this in any way, shape, or form. But that being said, for all my people, if you've been feeling that sensation, which I know some of you guys have approached me about that. That's why I did a live stream on this, right? Because I know, again, I need to make sure I'm taking care of you guys and answering stuff here and helping you find a solution out of this, because there is a solution out of this. Just stop telling yourself there isn't. That's one of the biggest things I see all the time is you tell yourself that this is what I should be doing instead of it actually being what you need to be doing, right? So like, again, for my people, here's the biggest thing. My people, you have me on demand, right? Keep that in mind. Like, obviously, it's not like you can like just hit me up anytime. I'm just going to call and like answer the phone just right off the bat, right? But like, guys, who do you know more personally about this process? If you're struggling with this if you're struggling with sticking to this process, who do you know more personally that's better at this process? Who do you know more personally that has helped people get these fucking results? Nobody. Me. I am that guy. You guys are here for that reason. So use me to that advantage. If you're struggling, do not hesitate. Hit my ass up. Hit me. Communication with your coach is so, I cannot stress it enough, that will take care of 99% of your issues. The rest 1% there is just showing the fuck up and doing it. Right? But like a lot of the issues, like I'll see a lot of people facing, especially anyone who's ever been in my coaching, like it is as simple. The number one issue is getting a hold of them. Like when I know a client is struggling, and this doesn't happen all the time, guys, but it's always, I say it doesn't happen all the time. It doesn't happen with every single client. Once you get a certain amount of clients, guys, I train nearly 30 people. You got to keep that in mind too. So like with a large enough group of people, there's always going to be some. But like the number one thing I look for when I know a client is struggling, I know when they're not struggling. Here's when I know they're not struggling. When they're communicating with me often. When I have my clients hit me up like all the time, like when I message them, they message me back immediately. I know they're good. I know they're thinking about their fitness. I know they're thinking, okay, I don't have to worry about anything. My coach knows that I'm trying right now, right? But when I'll see clients who will like dip and they'll stop that communication with the coach. That's the number one sign. That's avoidance behavior. And of course, as me being coach, I'm the guy that represents your fitness journey. And if you're avoiding that, like literally going towards your fitness journey, which is the number one sign I look for someone struggling. It's not anything to do. Anytime a client hits me up saying, I'm struggling with this, I'm struggling with that, I'm thinking, good. They're trying. They're doing what they're getting their reps in. They're learning. They're in the process. This is it. This is exactly what we need to be doing, right? Even though they're struggling, they feel like they're on that grind mentally. That's why we call it the grind, y'all. That's it. Like, it's hard. Yeah, you're there. It's exactly what we need to be doing. But when they're going through it and they're avoiding, that's what we have to make sure we're not falling into the pit trap of, right? When you guys, for anyone who's not in my training, obviously we're doing this live stream everywhere, but for anyone who's not in my training, a very simple way is like, guys, I know you guys have all felt this way before, right? Whenever you have maybe some kind of fitness influencer, maybe you like to watch, maybe it's me. And then maybe every time my face pops up and you've been like skipping on the gym, or maybe you haven't been doing what you're supposed to be doing fitness wise, maybe you like scroll on me extra fast when you see my face. You're like, oh, I don't like the way that makes me feel because it reminds me of my fitness. That feeling, that right there, red flag. Okay, that's the thing you need to be looking for immediately. That sign, because it's a sign that like your brain, your subconscious is trying to go towards comfort. And that's what's making people fucking fat. Like, guys, I cannot stress this enough. This is a mindset hack I just gave you guys. Go towards whatever's giving you that avoidance discomfort. Because if you're doing the opposite of that, that is you getting out of your own way. Doing the right things and replacing the behavior subconsciously. No, it's not going to be easy. I know I'm sitting here talking about it like it's an easy process. This is a hard thing to do. Like, even though it's like, it seems like such an easy thing to do, it's not. Because it is a cycle. I do this. I fall for this trap all the time too. And I know I'm a coach. You're like, whoa, what? How can you do that, Chase? Well, it's not always necessarily fitness related, but maybe it's like business related stuff, right? So like, there's a bunch of different ways I see it happen and accumulate in my life too. That's why I'm warning you guys about it. Because I'll give you guys some own stories of my own. I have wasted a lot of time before feeling sorry for myself and not going towards the mentorship or going towards the mentors that I was paying for. Literally, guys, again, I know I do the same thing, but like I do what I do because I believe in it so much that I even purchase this stuff too, right? Like the mentorship I had back in the day with the story I'm thinking about specifically was $400 a month, and I paid for that for 12 months. Okay, and it at the time didn't really even have that money, but it was such a good mentorship. Like, it was so much value. It's the reason I'm able to do what I'm doing today, right? It helped me get the frameworks of my business kind of going. And understanding, content, understanding sales, understanding, how to message people and how to talk to people. It's not necessarily coaching related, but a lot of it was just the business model of being an online business, or online fat loss coach. But all that being said, like, dude, that was a huge, huge like sensation I would avoid. I would get into this thing where it's like, again, this is in the context of business, but like, I'm not sending enough outbound DMs for, lead generation, or, I'm not posting enough content. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. And I would see that dude's face pop up on my Instagram or pop up on my Facebook, because that's where we had a private Facebook community. He had like 1,000 people in there. And I'd be like, they're going live right now. I just don't even want to see it right now. I just don't even want to see it. Like, guys, listen, a lot of people who watch me will get that sensation. I understand. I know what you mean. Trust me. I know, as your coach who doesn't want you to do that, I understand fully what that feels like. I still need you to not do that. You still got to not do that. Because that will only get you in trouble. That held me back for a long time. And guys, if you do that enough, you're paying $400 a month in a program like that. Like, guys, there were months where I did that for. I was just wasted on that. And that's no one's fault but my own, because I was being avoidant. Do not have that avoidant behavior, guys. That avoidant behavior is going to send you in the wrong direction. Do the exact opposite of what that avoidant behavior wants you to do. And I promise you guys, you will see a lot more results. Why? Because you're just going to show up more. It's as simple as that. But again, I digress. There's too much. I'm sitting here going too long, too much with these live streams. I want to make sure we try and keep them concrete and discreet. But I've been cooped up for 4 days just about in this house. And it's nice to get to talk to you guys on here. So I've enjoyed it. Guys, we'll be live again on Thursday. Hopefully I won't be as cooped up. And we'll get you guys some more information. Again, I think what we'll keep the theme with is we'll go mindset, nutrition, fitness, or workout wise stuff as far as the live streams go. So on the next one, I think we're going to do a nutrition based live stream, try and keep you guys educated on what you need to be doing. But that being said, my voice is starting to go, so I'm going to end this live stream. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out. Have a wonderful freaking day.